Good morning. It's Tuesday. These Tuesdays are coming round fast. It's Stamp and Chat. I'm just going to check I'm live in the right place. So just bear with me a second while we just check on that. And I'm just going to share it to my group. For those of you that are watching from my VIP group. Where are you? There we are. Found you. Okay. Should be there. How are we all? How are we all doing? What glorious weather we're having, aren't we lucky? It was really nice, at the weekend we went off racing on Saturday. Didn't really anticipate how warm it was going to be on Sunday. So took with me jeans. So it was quite warm for jack riding on Sunday, and quite dusty as well for spectating. But we had a lovely weekend. Anybody with me? Is anybody joining me live? Is anybody stamping with me live this morning? So, I've got a dodgy throat this morning. Morning, Ruby. How are you doing? Morning, Wendy. Okay, so we are on week 4. As I've said, these weeks are flying by. I mean, we're halfway through September already, which is quite scary. So I've got the first 3 cards here. For those of you that have not joined me live on a Tuesday before, this is Stamp and Chat. So I create a project here live, and then some of my customers have purchased kits that I've posted out to them, and they get to stamp along live with me as well. So, but also there's the opportunity to catch up later. If you can't catch me live, if you're having to work or you've got other commitments, then obviously I share it to the group. It goes onto my YouTube channel as well, so you can catch up at any time. So these are the first cards that we made. So this one was week 2. Bit of fussy cutting on that one. I know you all love me for that. And this was my wonky creation for week 3. Okay, so we've been using the Tag Buffet project kit and the coordinating stamps that go with it as well. So I've got a few things to share with you after as regards what's coming next in Stamp and Chat. And I did go through that on the last live, but I will just run through that today, because today is the last chance to book if you want to join in with the October sessions. So without further ado, let's put those to one side. Morning, Alfie. Have you come up to join us again? He had his hair cut yesterday, bless him. So we nickname him Bob, which is really unkind, but I don't think he knows any different. I'm just bending down to give him a stroke because he's looking at me and wondering who on earth I'm talking to. But we nickname him Bob when he's had a haircut because his ears are always so straight. So bless him. Anyway, so he smells very good this morning. Right, enough rambling. Let's get on with this live. Okay, so Tag Buffet stamps. You are going to need your stocking. Mine is very pink. Your stocking stamp. You're going to need your holly leaves, your Merry Christmas greeting, those of you that are stamping live with me. You can put what you want on the inside, but as regards greeting, you can put the Merry Christmas again, but I know some of you don't like to put the same greeting on the insert as what you do on the outside. So we're also using this little fern. I told you we'll be using it every week because I love it. I know you don't love cutting it out. I've mounted up my holly berries as well because I plan just to use those on the inside with the holly leaves. I've also mounted up my 'Tis the Season. These are clean, by the way. My stamps are clean. I can't comment for the blocks. They could do with a good scrub. But I've mounted up my 'Tis the Season that I'm probably going to use on my insert. You will need your wedge of sponge. So those of you that don't know what this is, Stampin' Up sell packs of sponges. I've got one here actually. They come like this in a pack of 3, very inexpensive, but you can chop them up into little wedges and use them like you would use a dauber, and for colouring in as well, and sponging and creating effects. So, and then I like to just punch out a circle in the corresponding colour ink and just staple it on, and then they go in a bag, and then I know when I want to grab one, I know I've got the right colour because of the cardstock swatch on there. Okay, so you need to take out your little pack. You've got lovely brown craft bags with your kits in, and you need week number 4 or card number 4. Let's pop you up there so we can see what we're doing. Pop my stamps out of the way. Check if anybody is chatting with me. Ruby, you're still here. Sue, I know that you've got to work this morning, but as you said, you can catch up later, which is the beauty of this. So we need our Shaded Spruce ink pad, and I will say this colour has really grown on me for my Christmas projects. So let's start. You'll need a Whisper White base, okay, and I've pre-scored it, so literally I'm going to line up the corners, hold those down nicely, and just score along with your bone folder. I'm going to pop that to one side for the moment because I don't need it. First we're going to take the Just Jade layer, open up our ink. Now I've got my bit of scrap paper for taking ink off, because as you know the ink pads are very juicy and you don't need a lot of ink on this sponge. It does kind of hold a lot, so I'm going to take some ink and then take a bit off, and we're just going to go around the edge as we've done previously. This just gives it a bit of depth, and it kind of makes your layer pop out. So just gently over the edge. You know me, I'm less is more, but you can go as heavy as you like with this. Is anyone else stamping along with me this morning? I know it's rotten that some of you have to work, and I know that a lot of you are working from home as well, those that have joined in with this, so it's probably painful that you have to be working from home when you'd like to be crafting. Okay, just a bit in the corners. There we go. Put you to one side for the moment. Right, what comes next? Shall I bring my card in and then you can see where we are going with this? Just going to put my insert to one side. So you've all got your insert in there. I would pop that under your base layer out of the way for now so that you don't use it by mistake. You've got a piece of Shaded Spruce, so we're going to get the Tombow and pop some glue on the back of this layer. Still on my new Tombow. I have an old Tombow upside down that I'm trying to get the most out of it, but I thought I'd best not be using it on camera because I'm going to be shaking it to make sure that all of it comes out. Got a bit, my layer's just slightly too long on here, so I'm just going to turn around to my trimmer and trim off that end just so that it's flush. Okay, like that. Did I do a good enough job? I think I did. Okay, what's next? So from your kits you need to locate this really beautiful starry tag. If I line this over here, you can see that we've got this beautiful, what do we call this? It's gone out of my head now. That's an age moment, isn't it? Laser cut. So you've got some nice laser cut stars here. It's just, they're really pretty. All of the tags in this set are really pretty. So This one is going directly down onto my card. I'm not layering with dimensionals because I think we've got quite a lot of heavy layers going on here already and quite a lot of depth. So I'm going to keep this one flat for now. So a bit of Tombow in the places where there are no laser cut holes. I'm going to pop this one on round about here, just down from the top. It's not central, it's more to the top of the card than to the bottom, because we're going to be having the stocking overhanging down the bottom. Okay, what I think we'll do now is add some Tombow to the back of this one. Hello Sue, nice to see you. How are you doing? Nice of you to join us. Oh, it just seems like it's long time no see for a lot of people, isn't it? So it's really nice when I go out and do my deliveries, even though I'm out for a few hours, but when I go out delivering kits and orders, that I get to see some of you and have a little chat at the doorstep. So it is quite nice. I usually come back with a huge smile on my face, having seen some of my regular ladies. So I do miss you all. I do miss you, and I know that a lot of you are really keen to get back to classes and things, but you know, we have to think sensibly at the moment. So I'm actually not going to be doing any classes in village halls at the present, because it just doesn't justify, because I feel maybe 4 to 6 people is enough to have in a room, and everyone sharing product and having to, you know, prepare the room before you come to make sure that it's, you know, been sanitized. I think it's just too tricky at the moment, which is why I am doing a few sessions in my studio for those that are ready to come out, because it means that way I've got plenty of space here, but by having 4 people, you're spaced out really well. You're still sharing product, but we're all sanitizing, you know, before we come and during. And it means I know that I've cleaned everything before you come. So, and I just feel we need to make this step of coming out and socialising, but we have to just obviously be very sensible about it. So yeah, I do miss you all. I can't wait for things to get back to some kind of, you know, normality where we can get together in larger groups again, because I know you miss other people as well that aren't necessarily friends that you keep in touch with, but people that you've met through classes that you connect with. So hopefully in the not too distant future, we may be able to do this. I'm going to move that out of the way for the moment. The next layer, you've got a piece of Real Red and a little strip of Whisper White. We're just going to pop some Tombow and join these 2 pieces together, like so. I mean, thank goodness for videos and being able to do live stamping sessions with you and Zoom, so that we can all connect with each other, because I think it's quite easy to go stir crazy, isn't it? Especially if you're at home alone as well. So I think it's important to stay connected with people. Now, I think I said last week that we wouldn't be needing this for another project. If I did, I was fibbing, and I apologise, because we do actually need a little skinny strip of it just under here. If you've gone and used it for something else, if you've been having to play with what's in your kit during the week, then that's totally fine. I'm sure there's something else in your box that you can use. If not, it's not going to hurt if it's not on there. So I'm just going to bring in my little cutter, and I'm just going to snip off a slither. I'm going to do it from that side. How much do we want? It's probably, I'm not even going to measure, because it's going to be lying underneath and you're not going to see it anyway. See, look, we've still got lots left. There we go. Still got a big chunk to use for something else. And I'm going to snip this just slightly shorter than the width of this. There's no measurement, just a little snip like that. And then what I'm going to do is on the back of this layer, pop a little bit of Tombow just under that one edge, line this one up with my grid, and then pop that one underneath, just so that it's showing a bit with a nice even border, edge, overhang, you know what I mean. I would have thought that was in the middle roughly, yes. Okay, so next, now we've done this, we're going to stick this one on here. Now I have actually stuck mine flat, again there's no dimensionals under there because I'm raising up my greeting, okay. Now if you want to pop dimensionals under here, feel free. And we need to be just down from the top, where the corners turn here, just down from there. Nice even gap on each side so that it's central, like so, and as straight as possible, which is hard when I'm stood quite a way away from my project. Okay, we're going to put this to one side for now because I'm going to do all my stamping bits and pieces now, and then we're going to cut those out and then put all of those together as well. So you have pieces of Just Jade in your kit. You had whole sheets, but obviously you've been cutting into those, and you will also need a scrap of Real Red. You will also need some Whisper White, which you have in your kit as well. So first of all, take your ink and we're going to stamp the stocking. Now we need to stamp this a couple of times. Let's bring in a little scrap bit down here. So we need to stamp it once onto the Just Jade cardstock. Then we're going to stamp it again onto the Real Red, and then we're going to stamp it for a final time onto some Whisper White, just the top part of it, and then we're going to fussy cut those out. I know you love me. I know that secretly you love a bit of fussy cutting. Oops, goodness, sorry. Waking you all up here. Right, bit of a wobble while I ink up. So we'll stamp this one on here like that. Next we need just the top part. I'm going to use this bit of scrap so that it keeps my grid paper clean. I don't normally, I'm not quite so OCD about getting my grid paper grubby, of course. And then move you to one side. We need to just stamp the foot part, the base, onto the Real Red. So by doing it like this, you don't need to stamp the whole thing and waste your cardstock. Just actually ink up what you need. Try not to drop any more stamps and wake you up. While we've got the ink open, take another scrap of Just Jade. My MacBook keeps going to sleep. I think I need to change the settings so that it stays awake for a bit longer. So I can't see if there's any comments. So we just need 2 of this gorgeous little fern. I just love it. You know I love it because I harp on about it every week. Next, take your holly leaves. Now in a previous Stampin' Chat, I actually stamped the berries and hand cut them, which we could be doing next time. But on here, I've not done that. I've literally just stuck the gems down. So don't feel that you have to do extra fussy cutting, unless of course you're like me and you love it. So we just want some holly leaves like that. And we'll do our greeting after. So I'm going to move my ink out of the way and let's start with a bit of fussy cutting. So we need to cut the whole of this stocking out to start with. Let's take that piece off. So cut as close to the edge as you can. When I'm normally cutting on Whisper White, I leave an edge because it looks okay, but I think for this, because we're using a dark cardstock, I tried it and it actually looks better when you cut close to the stamped edge. Can you actually see me? I'm behind on my Mac. As you know, it takes a few seconds to catch up. So, hope you can see what I'm doing. I can just about. I think I'm going to get myself an appointment at the optician's because I know my eyes have declined of late, but also where I'm really naughty and wear my glasses on my head, they've stretched so they keep dropping off of my head and onto the floor, and I think I've heavily scratched them. So I clean them and they still look really fuzzy, and I can actually see a couple of big gouges in them, which isn't good, and they cost me a lot of money as well. So I'm wondering whether, oops, that's sticking to me, whether I can get the glass replaced, the lenses replaced in them. I'm not sure yet, so I thought I might go and find out. Right, next the booty parts. Now these cut just inside the line, so rather than cutting outside, I'm just going to go on the inside right up to it, and then right on the line. Leave this stitched bit there, cut right on the line. You don't want any red going over the line. There. One. It's not too painful, this cutting. Goodness, it is really warm in here today. I'm going to have to open up the Velux again. It was so lovely working over here yesterday, and although it was hot, but it was just nice to have the windows open. And as I said in my my comments I popped on my group, that it's just nice to feel like the outside is coming in. Okay, have a little refresh. See what's happening. Every time I refresh, my little window pops up. And then finally, I'm just going to trim out the holly leaves, and I don't cut these separately, I leave them together. So, and with this, I'm going to leave a little white border, as you'll see. I think the key to cutting is to turn your paper. I don't know, what do you think, guys? Oops. I think I always use, I think I was saying this last time, like the inner piece of my scissors here, even though these scissors are sharp right to the point. They're really good, the Stampin' Up scissors, they're really precise, but I tend to use this part when I'm cutting and turn my paper as I cut. Right, finally, got these two lovely leaves. To trim. So what have you all got planned for your week? Hope you're not all working all week. I do have to pop out later today. I tend not to go very far nowadays, like a lot of us, I know, but also I find that I don't want to go out, which isn't good, I suppose. I keep talking myself out of going out. I'm like, do I really need to? Do I need to do that? Could I do that when I go out later in the week? Which is really terrible. But I just love being here. I love spending time at home. I love being in my studio. I'm lucky that I get to be creative with my job. I love designing new projects. So yesterday I spent majority of my day designing 2 classes. So I'm opening up my studio doors on Friday evening and Saturday morning. So if anybody is local and feels like they just need to get out for a bit of safe social distancing crafting. I would love to have you. So I designed 2 classes, 2 different class options. One is a Christmas class and the other one is a non-Christmas class. And the non-Christmas one is using the Love of Leaves, which I'm finding really hard to put down at the moment. I kind of do this with stamp sets. I kind of get addicted to them and I just create and can't put them down, and then I move on to something else, and then I kind of get the buzz with that one as well, which is good because, you know, I think when you buy a stamp set, you need to get your money's worth out of it. So if you're finding that you're getting lots of use, then that's just a good thing. Okay. Right, where was I? Chatting away. Right, what we need to do with our pieces, let's pop you to one side. We need to attach now these pieces. The holly can go out of the way. So the top of the stocking, bit of Tombow on there. Just add that one on there. So the reason I'm doing this, I may not generally do this if I was crafting with face to face with a group of people, but because this kit only included 1 ink and your paper kits and your stamps, we were very limited on how we were going to colour in these images. So I tried to be quite creative in how we can use just this plain stamped line image without any actual physical colouring materials. So, I mean, obviously with just an ink pad you could use a blender pen and you can colour with the lid of your ink. So when you've got an ink pad closed, if you give it a squeeze, you get a residue left in the ink, and you can see where I've used my blender pen to actually pick up colour and then colour with it onto a stamped image. If you've got a paintbrush, you can do that. If you've got, it's good if you're using a paintbrush or an aqua painter and water to do it onto watercolour paper, really, because the paper will absorb too much of the water and it could become quite a mess, because obviously it's not designed to have water on it. So I was trying to be a little creative with how we were going to like colour these images. So let's just pop this part of the stocking. Oops, that was upside down. And of course, although with this round of Stamp and Chat, I included a 5th of the Tag Buffet project kit, which included the die cuts, like this one here that we've done with the bauble on. I didn't want to just use those die cuts. I wanted to show you how you can use the stamps as well. So a bit of Tombow on here. Lay that one on. And there we have our coloured in stocking. So just with a bit of paper piecing and using up some scraps of cardstock. What should we do next? Let's pop that on, I think. Or shall we do our greeting? Let's do our greeting. So I've used the Merry Christmas, and also in your kits you received these die cut labels and banners. Oh, morning Belle. If I could craft in your studio, I don't think I'd want to leave home either. Oh, bless you. It is a bit of a crafting heaven in here. I am really, really lucky, and I do love spending time over here. But you can't beat crafting with friends and crafting in company. So yeah, I'm very lucky. I'm very spoiled. But like I say, it's not the same without having some of you guys here as well. So in your kit you've got these banners and labels, or tags if you want to call them. So I've pushed out the Merry Christmas one here, like this, and I've stamped on it. Now I'm looking for mine, which is here. So I've pushed that one out ready to stamp on. but I just wanted to show you, if you've used both of these in your, or if you've stamped and one has gone wrong, take a scrap of, bit of glue on there, take a scrap of Whisper White, lay it down, take your pencil and just draw in that aperture, and then you can cut it out, and then you've got yourself another banner. So that could be there just in case it all goes wrong. So I could well be cutting that out in a moment. But I'm going to use this banner here. Take my ink, because of course we're only using one ink colour. Obviously if you've got other colours, if you've got Real Red, or if you've got Garden Green, is this Garden Green? Shaded Spruce, Just Jade, I'm going through all the greens in the spectrum now, but if you've got any of those colours, of course you can use them. But I know some of you don't have a huge selection of inks, which is why I'm trying to make this ink pad do its work for you. So there's our greeting. Lovely font on that one. Now this one I've popped dimensionals under. I'm getting low on this set, but I will just pass comment, because I think most of us are quite frugal when we craft. But don't throw away the edge pieces. When you've used all of the dimensionals on the inside piece, don't throw this away, because you can use it. So I'm going to snip into this and pop a couple. On the back of here, like that. Take the backing off. These pieces can be very useful. You can chop into them and make them smaller. So let's just lay this one in the middle as much as we can. Like that. And then next we're going to take our stocking, add some dimensionals on the back, take off the back ends. So I can't see me going down the lane again today. I think it's just going to be too warm for Alfie. And then we'll pop that one on here. A bit lower maybe. Like that. Then next, take your two, where's my bone folder? Take your two leafy images. I'm giving mine a little curl. And then some Tombow at the bottom. I'm going to share that with the other piece. Like that. And then we'll pop one over here. And then one a little bit lower down. Go in. Like that. Okay. Then another, where are they? They're hiding. I normally work with everything to my right. Obviously I'm right-handed, and I normally have like all of my scissors, my adhesives, my foam pads, everything to the right of me. But because of where my stand is for filming, I've got kind of the corner of the desk, and I've been moving stuff over to the left so that I've got a bit more space over there, and I go over there to get it and it's not there. So let's pop this one on. And we're going to attach that just down there as if it was attached to the stocking, and locate your gems. So where's my pack? For those of you that don't know what these are the wonderful gems. They're really pretty, so they come in Real Red, and they're like clear with like a gold glitter in them, if you can see those. They're really beautiful. So everybody got a fifth of a pack of those. So I'm literally going to pop these straight down onto my project. If you've got your take your pick tool handy, that will work well for picking these up. Oops, upside down. Like that. I've got one left on there. Don't want to lose that. And then finally, we just need to add in the bow. Right, I've got a strip here of the beautiful gold twine that we've been using each week. Now, this is done together. This bow, this double bow, I've tied this together. So I haven't done two bows and stuck them. If you find this tricky, then obviously you can do that. So I just need to gauge first how much of the twine I might need to do my bow. So I'm going to roughly pretend to tie a bow. So I know I need roughly about that much twine. And what I'm going to do is double it up, so that I've got two pieces the same length. I'm going to trim off that frayed edge and then snip it. So I have two pieces of the same length, and then what I'm going to do is tie my bow, if I can, with my Tombow fingers. Just pull that one through. And then we have a nice double bow, like that. And you can fiddle and faff for as long as you like with your bow until you are happy with it, but I think that's okay. Both kind of the same length, and I'm just going to snip off. Oh, I hear another tractor coming. So we had a busy going on down the lane yesterday. At the end of our lane, it's a dead end. We've got a lovely church down there. I'll just have a little natter, and then those of you that are crafting with me, you maybe can catch up a bit. So, oh, hi Shirley, how are you doing? Nice for you to join us today. So I was just saying, yesterday we had loads of tractors going up and down the lane. Because at the end of our lane, it's a dead end. We've got a lovely church down there. We used to have some beautiful orchards, but we only have a few of the trees left down there now because I think they got to the end of their contract and they all sadly had to be pulled up, which was really heartbreaking to see. But obviously there's a reason, you know, the trees are grown for a purpose. I believe the apples were for Bulmers. So they pulled everything up and then they planted maize, and the maize kind of grew really, really fast, and it was quite pretty down there. It was quite lovely to see it. As much as we missed the blossom this year from all the trees, we still did get to see it on the smaller part of the orchard that's remaining with the younger trees in. But yesterday they were harvesting the maize, and there were tractors up and down the lane, and I was thinking, I'm so glad they've done that yesterday and not this morning while I'm trying to do my live, because it gets quite warm in here, and if I've got to have the windows open and the tractors going up and down, they were quite noisy, and especially when they were coming back with their empty trailers, yeah, they were noisy. So a lot going on out there yesterday. So finally, pop our bow on. Are you catching up? Anyone who's crafting? Move these bits out of the way. We need glue dots. So as I've shown you previously, I'm going to pop a little glue dot just up here, and I'm going to roll it and pick it up and pop it straight down on there, and then just attach. Got a bit of a fray happening. My phone is on do not disturb. Bit of twine there. That was Jason ringing me. I wonder what he wanted. So as I was just saying before, I was interrupted by my phone ringing, which was quite a shock because it shouldn't be doing that. There's a bit of a fray going on the, especially this one, but that's totally fine. You know, the thread will fray a little, fray even. This one has on here, but I think it just adds to the effect. So that's our cardigan done. We're all finished with that one. That wasn't too testing for you, I hope. Quite straightforward. Might want to trim these off a little if you feel. So let's just put that to one side and do our greeting. Alfie's having a move now because he heard the phone ring. And my MacBook has gone away from my live, so I can't see where I am or what I'm doing because the phone rang. So let's take 'Tis the Season and your ink pad. Just going to ink that up and then stamp. So as I've said, I like to line up. So I'm looking at the "'Tis the" and I'm lining it up with the straight edge of the bottom of my piece of cardstock, and then I'm just going to kind of move it up where I want it, stamp it down like that. This is where, if you've got like a real red ink, you might like to add a different colour in, but for the sake of the live and the one ink pad we're using, I'm going to add some holly leaves and some berries. This is tricky for me to see. Okay, I hope you're all still with me because my Mac is saying that it won't play my video. I think that's just a signal here maybe. I'm just refreshing it, so carry on stamping. I'm still there. I'm still there. Move you out of the way. Right, take some Tombow on the back. And then pop this inside your card. Some people don't bother with an insert when you've got a white base, but I think for one, if you stamped and then it all went pear-shaped, you could cover it over, but at least with an insert, you're going to stamp it before you stick it in. So, and also I think it helps to give it, because this is quite top heavy, this card, it just helps to give it a bit of weight at the back. So there we go, card number 4 complete. Well done for those of you that have stamped along with me. So we will be doing, we've got one more card in this set to complete. So I'm supposed to be going live on Saturday, so next week I'm away. So I won't be able to go live on the Tuesday, so I'm planning to go live on Saturday, but I will confirm what time I'm going live because I have scheduled in a class here in the studio, but it just depends whether there are people coming or not. So and I totally appreciate that some people just don't want to come out and mix at the moment, so I'm just offering events, and if people want to come they can. If they don't, then it's totally fine because I'm here anyway. So that was our final card. Before I go, because I'm hoping I've still got battery left, a quick reminder for the next Stamp and Chat. So it includes the Bumblebee ink pad, the gorgeous Love of Leaves, so we're using this one at my class Friday evening and Saturday morning. Then the, what are these ones called? Gilded? Gold gilded? Not gems. Gone out of my head. And the linen thread. You can see them, you know what they are. So you get a quarter of a pack of these. And three meters of the linen thread as well. I'm stalling now because I'm in my head, I'm like, what are they called? I know what they're called. Why is it not coming to me? And this is going to be one of the cards we'll create. So there we go. So that's the next round of Stamp and Chat. Now booking closes today for this. So, and we'll be going live on the 6th of October. That will be the first live. So I need time to get the order in today, to get the products back to me, to prepare all the kits and get those back out to you ready in time. And then just before I go, I want to just remind you of our fabulous starter kit promotion that we have at the moment. So if you've got a wish list of products, I mean, who doesn't? You can join my team with me. You can purchase a starter kit of the regular price of £99. It includes £130 of product, so you get an extra £31 of product for free. It ships to you for free, so you don't have to pay any delivery charges. Sorry, just refreshing again. And you're also getting, during the month of September, Stampin' Up! Are throwing in 2 stamp sets. So the Queen Anne's Lace and the So Much Love. If you've got some of our Stampin' Blends, guys, you're going to love this stamp set for colouring in. It's just beautiful. Also get a pack of the rhinestones, the jewels, and then you get 2 card kits. 8 card kits, I should say. Pre-cut paper packs to make 8 cards. Okay, so the colours are on here, if you can zoom in and have a look at that, of what are in those kits. So that's our Get and Go starter kit promotion. Do head over to my website at kerrytimms.co.uk, because I've got lots going on there as well. Information about my Simply Pretties by Post, which is a monthly kit of products, like a selection of product, and I'm focusing on the Tag Buffet stamp set. So for those of you that have already purchased this, that would be a good addition for you. And what else do I have? I have my Warm Hugs class in the post as well. So I think that's everything for now. Leave you with what's happening next month. Please take care of yourselves, guys, and I hope that in the not too distant future we're going to be able to stamp again together. So thank you for coming on and sharing your 45 minutes, are we, with me this morning, and I'll be back with you very soon. So take care and bye for now.